Hi, everyone. My name is Jesse Robbins, and welcome to LPLE from Dialogue FM. We're the podcast that lets you practice listening in English. We speak English slowly and clearly so that you can follow along and understand native English speakers more easily. I'm excited to help you improve your English listening skill, as well as help you learn new vocabulary, grammar, and idioms commonly heard in conversations among native English speakers. If you want to practice listening in English, then we invite you to join our conversation. Hi, Jane.
Hi, Jesse.
Welcome back.
Thank you.
How are you feeling?
Better, but I caught the flu like almost everyone else I know. How about you?
I'm doing well. I'm trying very hard to stay healthy and to not get sick. You actually had the flu. It wasn't a cold, it was the flu.
Well, that's a good question. I did not have all the symptoms of the flu, but it was a very strange and severe cold, if that's all it was. I lost my voice very early on, and it's still not completely back.
Other than your voice, how are you feeling? How is your energy? How's everything?
Things are good. My energy's back. My chest doesn't feel as if it has a great big rock on it anymore. Everything's okay, and I think the whole city is gradually getting used to a new world. I think many of us were very stressed about the beginning of the new administration.
During the 2 weeks you were out sick, I actually recorded 2 episodes. The first episode was me talking about flu season. Really related to, at the time, your sickness. I talked about flu season in the world and why it's important for everyone, at least in America, to get a flu shot around the fall season of the previous year, because that's when flu season usually starts. So I'm really happy that you're back. I know the audience is happy to have 2 people again. Otherwise, they'll just hear me talk for 20 to 25 minutes.
That's fine. You have a lot to say.
Yeah. Today is February the 15th.
Yes.
The day after Valentine's Day. Valentine's Day is February 14th. Every year, and I know that it's a very interesting holiday. It's cultural holiday. It's definitely not a national holiday where everyone takes a vacation. It's more of a cultural and social holiday, right?
Yes, that's how it is done here. Of course, the story of the real Saint Valentine doesn't have very much to do with romantic love. I think it has to do with charity more than anything else. And if I recall, Saint Valentine himself had an unfortunate end.
He was executed, if
Yes,
I remember right.
I think he was. However, here...
Yeah. Like everything else, it's commercialized.
That's right. And my husband and I recognize that. So there are some Valentine's Day days that we don't observe, and sometimes if we're in the mood, we do. We are not strict about it because we do believe that it is mostly a commercial holiday.
I 100% agree with you. My wife and I feel the same way.
Really?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. There are some years where we will decide to go out for dinner. However, we also recognize that usually on Valentine's Day, most of the restaurants require a reservation because they are serving some special menu for couples.
Yes.
And usually those menus, those special menus, are so expensive. So ridiculously and outrageously expensive. Other cultural traditions around Valentine's Day is buying chocolate. Usually the husband or boyfriend or whatever will buy chocolates for their significant other. Usually there's flowers and roses. The man traditionally gives flowers to the woman. There's cute cards, Valentine's Day cards. All of these commercial traditions, everything involves money.
Yes.
Right? Expensive food, expensive flowers, expensive candies, expensive chocolates. For what?
Yes, to remind us to be nice to each other, perhaps. There's nothing wrong with that. It's nothing wrong with having a day to remember to pay attention. In Romania, for example, on the first day of March, there is a Woman's Day. It's called Mărțișor, and if there are any Romanians listening to me, forgive my accent, but it's essentially, there are small cards that always have a red and white thread, and they are bought for women, just to say hello, and they are very inexpensive and very creative, and I think it's just a day for remembering to be nice to women. And so that's okay. But yes, sometimes I get pretty tired of the candy boxes. However, it occurred to me today that everything is on half price.
That's right.
The flowers, the heart-shaped chocolate boxes. It occurred to me a person could buy everything at 50% and put it in the freezer for a year.
I think you might have a brilliant business idea. You're right. Everything is on sale. And when we say on sale, it means that the price is reduced.
Yes, 50% off at the university bookstore for flowers, for example.
Right. Many stores have purchased a lot of extra chocolates and flowers and cards. And of course, they don't sell all of those products. So they have to get rid of it. To keep those products in their store means that those products are taking up lots of valuable space that they could use for other items. So the stores are quickly and desperately trying to get rid of those extra Valentine's Day items. Yesterday, my wife and I did not do anything special. and that's okay. Now, you mentioned something really important, and I'd like to talk about this. You mentioned that Valentine's Day is a good day to remember to be nice to each other, but more specifically, women. And it hurts my head to think that we need a special day to remember to be nice to women.
Well, I don't suppose that I said it in exactly the right way. We have days to honor teachers. We have days to honor famous people. So I suppose having days to honor romantic love or to honor our mothers or fathers, there's nothing wrong with that. But it's true. We do pay a little more attention to our mother on Mother's Day or to our lover on Valentine's Day. I agree with you. It's too bad we don't do it every day. Most of us probably do all right.
You're spot on there. The idea of remembering to celebrate romance. Mm-hmm. That's a good way to put it. We get so busy in our lives that it's easy to forget to be romantic with our spouse, to have a special dinner, to say, I love you. You would think that these should be normal activities between a boyfriend and a girlfriend, or a husband and wife.
Or partners.
Or partners, exactly. Yeah. However, the day-to-day life sometimes makes us forget. Even right now, we have a lot of things happening in our society, in our news. Our society is changing very rapidly. I've never seen our society change so fast. So you're right. Having a day to focus on something else, something more positive, more romantic, is a great thing. This is a good chance to introduce two words: pessimistic and optimistic.
Yes.
Right? And so this is a perfect example where your explanation and vision, a feeling of Valentine's Day is more optimistic. You see the positive side of Valentine's Day. My explanation and opinion of Valentine's Day is more pessimistic.
You think people are just out to make a buck, as we say, to make some money.
Right. And pessimistic means negative.
Yes.
To have a negative view of something. So yeah, my opinion of Valentine's Day is more pessimistic. I think that we are very focused on the purchasing of things to demonstrate our love. And naturally, I want to ask, why don't we do this every day or every week? However, as I get older, I realize our society doesn't work like that. There's so much we're focused on in our own lives that it is easy to forget to be romantic.
That's true. And also, I think it's probably always been true that if people have been together for a long time, they develop habits and sometimes perhaps take each other for granted, even if they really love each other and are very happy. It's not the same as it was in the beginning. So that's another reason why I think once in a while it's not a bad thing to have a special day, just to give yourself a little push. I'm trying to remember when I wasn't married and I was just dating, and I think that Valentine's Day was a very stressful thing then, because, for example, if you just started dating someone, would you be saying too much if you gave them a Valentine card? Or should you buy chocolate? Or, I'm remembering all the stress that there is around buying the right card, whether to buy a card or not, whether to buy a gift or not. And I have to say, I'm glad I don't have to worry about that anymore.
Indeed. Now, there's one more aspect I realize about Valentine's Day. And that is, it is okay to be romantic.
Yeah.
Sometimes I realize we feel uncomfortable showing or expressing our romantic side. Some people just have that kind of personality. Well, if the rest of society is being romantic, then because of that, people might feel more comfortable being romantic.
You mean, for example, on Valentine's Day, if in general the people around us are putting themselves out a little more than usual, then maybe it makes things easier. Yes, I think that's possible.
You said two phrases I want to explain. The first one is taking someone for granted.
Yes.
Let's explain that a little bit. What does taking someone or something for granted mean?
I think I'll give it my impression, my understanding of it, without really dissecting it grammatically or in a vocabulary way. It means that we just accept something without thinking about it, as if it were just the normal order of things, as if it was given to us and we don't question it. We don't stop to be thankful for it, or in the case of its being another person, we often don't stop to acknowledge the other person.
The closest I can think of is we forget the value of something. We forget the importance of something or someone. So in this example, when we say that we take our spouse for granted, what we mean is we forget the value of our spouse. We forget the importance of our spouse in our lives.
Or we don't bring it to our conscious attention. We do know it, usually, if someone asked us, but we get busy, we think of other things, and we forget to treat that relationship as if it were really precious.
The next phrase you said was putting ourselves out.
Yes.
Right? So that phrase, it means to take a risk and express ourselves to somebody else.
Yes.
So when we say I am putting myself out there, what we mean is, even though it is scary or embarrassing, it means that we are taking the risk and expressing ourselves, our emotions, our opinions. Is that right?
Yes. And also, I think put out actually has a number of meanings. I mean, I think we could agree on that. I think to put oneself out also means to do something extra, go a little beyond what we would normally do. Sometimes we'll say to someone, I don't want to put you out, but would you mind giving me a call tomorrow morning? In other words, I don't want to cause you trouble. So I was thinking of put out in the way you're talking about, which is taking a little risk, being more expressive than usual, but also sort of going a little farther than usual in the sense of just taking a little more time and giving yourself a little more trouble. Making an extra effort also is what I meant.
There was a podcast episode a few months ago that my former co-host Andrew and I did about that word. The word put. So put up with, put in, put out, put off, put under, put down. We made an entire episode just talking about the word put plus a direction.
Yes, and sometimes the put out has several meanings. Yes, put away.
Exactly. Well, it's great to have you back.
Glad to be here.
Happy Valentine's Day, the day after. And for everyone listening, we wish you a happy Valentine's Day. We hope you had a wonderful time giving chocolate or receiving chocolate, going on a date with your romantic partner. And after hearing this episode, if you want to share with us your own country's traditions about Valentine's Day, let us know. We'd love to hear it. Thank you for listening to this episode of LPLE. Let's practice listening in English from Dialogue FM. Subscribe to LPLE on iTunes to hear the latest episodes, or listen to past episodes on our website, dialogue.fm. That's dialog.fm. If you have questions or comments about English, or if you would like for us to use a word, grammar, or idiom in our conversation so you can learn how to use it correctly, we would love to hear from you on Twitter at dialogue.fm or Facebook at facebook.com/dialoguefm.